Dragon Ball Super is officially back, and I can't express how incredible it feels to finally say that out loud. For months, the Dragon Ball community sat in silence, grappling with uncertainty after the passing of Akira Toriyama in March 2024. His loss wasn't just the end of an era, it felt like the universe hit pause. The Dragon Ball Super manga had been steadily building momentum, teasing something monumental with Black Frieza's shocking return. I still remember the first time I saw that panel. Frieza, standing tall and unfazed, casually defeating Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta like it was just another sparring session. Fans were left buzzing, speculating about what could possibly come next, and then, nothing. The story just stopped. No announcements, no new chapters. It wasn't just the suspense that left us hanging, it was the feeling that Dragon Ball Super had reached a turning point. The final few chapters before the hiatus set the stage for the future. Ultra Instinct Goku, Beast Gohan, and the new generation of Saiyans were finally coming into their own. In fact, one of the most exciting moments wasn't just Frieza's dominance, but the passing of the torch between Goku and Gohan. Seeing Goku and Vegeta literally fighting for the chance to spar with Gohan was a major progress. Gohan's growth wasn't just a subplot anymore, it was becoming the central focus. Everything was perfectly aligned. The narrative felt ready to pivot toward the next generation. Gohan, Trunks, Goten, and Pan were beginning to step into larger roles. We were entering the Dragon Ball equivalent of a new chapter in history. Until Toriyama's passing brought it all to a standstill. We're used to cliffhangers in Dragon Ball, it's part of the DNA of the franchise, but this one felt different. The weight of the pause wasn't just narrative suspense, it was grief. Toyotaro's work felt like it was building towards something massive, but without Toriyama guiding the future, fans couldn't help but wonder, was this it? Was Dragon Ball Super done? Was Daima going to be Toriyama's last gift to the fans? For a while, there were no clear answers, just speculation. But now, we finally have something tangible to hold on to. Dragon Ball Super isn't gone, it's evolving. At Jump Festa 2024, fans were eagerly anticipating news about the franchise. While many were hoping for a full-blown arc announcement, what we got was something a bit smaller but no less exciting. A new Dragon Ball Super one-shot focusing on Goten and Trunks. The story will center around the Clean God, a purple-suited superhero that Goten and Trunks idolize. If you watched Dragon Ball Super Superhero, you'll remember the same deal dressing up as Saiyaman X1 and X2, playing the roles of heroes in their spare time. Clean God was referenced multiple times as their inspiration, but this story aims to tell us how Trunks started admiring heroes, which means it'll probably be a prequel to the prequel story we saw in the superhero manga. Because in the manga, Trunks and Goten had already become admirers of heroes, and then followed their trails to become Saiyaman X1 and X2. At first glance, it might seem like a lighthearted detour, a fun side story to tide fans over, but the focus on these characters isn't random, it's deliberate. Toyotaro and the Dragon Ball team are planting seeds for something bigger. This one-shot isn't filler, it's groundwork. Since the end of the Tournament of Power, Dragon Ball Super has been quietly laying the foundation for the next generation of Saiyans. Goten and Trunks have slowly been given more screen and page time, while Pan, the granddaughter of Goku, has also been positioned as a key figure moving forward. In many ways, Dragon Ball Super Superhero was a test run for this shift. Gohan and Piccolo took center stage while Goten and Trunks played supporting roles. The film reminded audiences that Dragon Ball isn't just about Goku and Vegeta anymore. The next wave of fighters is ready to carry the torch. This one-shot feels like the next logical step in that transition. By focusing on Goten and Trunks, the story gives fans a chance to reconnect with these characters and see how far they've come since their childhood adventures in the Buu saga. But why Clean God? Why place such a heavy emphasis on the seemingly minor character? Dragon Ball has a long history of introducing quirky side characters who later become pivotal to the main narrative. Beerus and Whis were initially seen as one-off movie characters but eventually became central to Dragon Ball Super's ongoing story. Could Clean God follow a similar path? Let us know what you think in the comments. Could he secretly be from another planet, maybe the Demon Realm, or am I just reaching? While this one-shot might seem small in scale, it carries significant implications for the future of Dragon Ball Super. Toriyama may be gone, but his influence remains. Toyotaro, having worked closely with Toriyama for years, understands the essence of Dragon Ball. If Dragon Ball Super is to continue long-term, this next phase will likely balance both honoring Toriyama's legacy and carving out a new path for the franchise. Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Pan represent that future. One of the key takeaways from this new story is that Dragon Ball Super is returning to its roots: adventure, lighthearted fun, and character-driven storytelling. While high-stakes battles and power-ups will always be a part of the formula, the next wave of Dragon Ball stories may embrace a more exploratory and comedic tone, much like how the original Dragon Ball series focused on the slice-of-life genre. For longtime fans, this is a welcome return to form. It's a reminder that Dragon Ball has always been about more than just who can punch the hardest. The chapter releases on February 20th, 2025 in Japan, and while it's just a Goten Goten and Trunks story, Dragon Ball fans are too excited to hear the series' return in some way. Additionally, there's the larger question of how this one-shot fits into the future of Dragon Ball Super as a whole. While the one-shot might be a brief diversion, the next full arc will likely take shape shortly after it's concluded, perhaps as soon as March 2025, following the end of Dragon Ball Daima, which is rumored to only be 20 episodes long. This hints at a carefully planned trajectory for the franchise. Toyotaro, who has been working closely with Toriyama for years, is now tasked with steering the ship. His deep understanding of the Dragon Ball world allows him to balance honoring Toriyama's legacy while carving a new path for the future. A key element to look out for is the potential connection between Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Daima. As noted by some sources, there were discussions about how elements of Daima, particularly the introduction of characters and lore from the multiverse, would eventually make their way into Dragon Ball Super. While I understand the new one-shot won't be cosmic level, it's worth noting that Episode 10 of Dragon Ball Daima introduced a character named Rymus and began to explore the multiverse, which could have significant implications for the future of Dragon Ball Super. These seeds planted in Daima might well bloom in the manga, creating an exciting cross-medium narrative that links the two when and if the manga returns in March 2025. Apart from this, we also got Toyotaro drawing an illustration of Goku live on stage. Man, I wish I lived in Japan. There's another illustration by Toyotaro featured on the walls of Jump Festa, and it's none other than Black Frieza's, the current strongest warrior in the Dragon Ball Super manga. In conclusion, the return of Dragon Ball Super represents more than just the continuation of a beloved franchise. It's a symbol of the evolution of an iconic series that has shaped the landscape of anime for decades. For years, Dragon Ball has been synonymous with high-octane action, epic battles, and unforgettable characters. But with the return of Dragon Ball Super, fans can expect something more than the same old formula. The franchise is on the verge of transitioning into a new era, one where the focus is shifting from the familiar faces of Goku and Vegeta to the younger generation, Goten, Trunks, Pan, and Gohan, who represent the future of the story. The transition to a new generation of characters, the exploration of the multiverse, and the return to character-driven storytelling are all signs that Dragon Ball Super is ready for the next phase. Whether it's through lighthearted adventure, intense battles, or exploring new dimensions, the future of Dragon Ball is bright. The franchise has proven time and again that it is capable of reinvention, and this new phase will be no different. With the legacy of Toriyama's original vision at its core, Dragon Ball Super is ready to continue its cultural dominance, inspiring and entertaining fans worldwide for generations to come. Anyway, that's it for now. As always, thank you for being part of this journey. If you're excited about the return of Dragon Ball Super and the next generation of Saiyan heroes, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Do let me know in the comments how you feel about this announcement. Stay tuned for more content, theories, and deep dives into everything Dragon Ball. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.